Yes, Lester? Oh, you're excited. I know you are, but stay with us here. You're excited, I'm excited, the viewers are excited. It's, of course, Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 17. But beyond that, Lester, as we talked about last week, apparently, judging by his excitement, has locked in or locked down the sponsor that will blow me away, that will knock me off my seat, that will knock my socks off. Is that right, Lester? It is. No, we're not doing it now. That comes at the end of the show. Okay, so look forward to that. We're going to see Lester's sponsor. He's dotted the T's and crossed the I's. We'll get to it, buddy. But first, we got to start the show.
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop? As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
Friends, welcome. You can always tell how many takes it's been by the speed at which I am talking to you. The lights are bright, and they are shining down on him. Him is, of course, me, and me is I. Who is I? Colin from Canada, and this is Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 17. To my right is Lester. He is excited beyond belief. As you know, he has locked down a upper echelon premier sponsor that will be joining Team Colin from Canada. We will get to that later, Lester, as we discussed prior to the theme. Hello, friends. How are you? Is your week going well? Mine is not so bad. It's a Wednesday, and we are starting to film what this will become. Let's keep it. We have friends, all the beautiful segments that have become a part of your daily life are on the schedule. They're on the docket. I am the judge, jury, and executioner of dramatic comedy. And when it comes to that, who's better than I? Of course, the guy that christened the name dramatic comedy. They're all here, so get ready. Blow is the poster. It's from the video store days. Good coffee's always free. That's never going to get fixed. The pen is taped. We got this, bro. That's right. This is take number 8 million on literally just the welcome. But I think I nailed it. Let's get it going.
How could I possibly be expected to handle school in a day like this?
Friends, we all had the urban legends, the stories that you heard growing up where you kind of stopped and thought, huh? Basically, any story regarding Bo Jackson has a bit of that flavor. But there was a story that you better watch out for those VHS tapes because they don't last. I could be the only one in this boat, but I distinctly remember hearing, yeah, those VHS tapes, they don't last. You better take care of them. And I thought, what are people doing with these tapes? What are they, leaving them on the sun or something? Anyways, I always say, well, they deteriorate and they're not going to last forever. Eventually, they break down or whatever you want to say. I have VHS tapes from 1984 that still play perfectly fine. And if we do the quick math, 84 until now is 41 years. And still going strong. So to whoever started that rumor back in the day, what do the kids say nowadays? Shame on you! This is 5 VHS from the collection. Power Karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. Friends, is he giving up on the character? Is he giving up on the franchise? The answer is no. It's Lou Gossett Jr., it's Iron Eagle 4, it's 1996. Were you renting this? Because I wasn't. It's fighter pilot action, the likes of which you've never seen. Maybe in the previous 3 you saw it. Lou Gossett. I Was a Teenage Zombie, with music by The Fleshtones, The Del Fuegos, Los Lobos, Violent Femmes, Smithereens, Alex Chilton, and of course the Dream Syndicate. Soundtrack is now available on Enigma Records. 1987, 90 minutes. It's in color. And it's on VHS. Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Bed. Time magazine says it's the TV movie of the year. Well, I'm sorry. You had me at Farrah Fawcett and the Burning Bed. You don't need to tell me it's a TV movie. That just makes it even better. Number 4, The Hustler Squad. You pay for the pleasure, the killing is free. Hustler Squad is an action-packed, no-holds-barred motion picture about the most unlikeliest freedom fighters ever to grace a battlefield. The mission by a hand-picked quartet of girls is simply to lure the enemy to bed and kill them. The girls are smuggled by the Philippine underground to the pleasure palace, and the result is a tightly knit plot that unravels as the girls go about their business of eliminating the top brass. Folks, have you heard of Ice Pawn? Because until I grabbed it from the pile, I hadn't heard of it either. Let's go to it. Starring Paul Cross. Alex Dalton is a pawn in a game of greed, and he's skating on thin ice. All his life, Alex Dalton has dreamed of becoming a gold medal skater. Now, after years of rigorous training, he's finally going to get his chance at the winter competition if he can beat his Russian arch-rival, Misha. But his Soviet opponent proves to be the least of Alex's problems when he finds himself a pawn in a web of greed and corruption that could make or break his entire career. The nation's eyes are on Alex to win the gold, but little do they know that America's greatest hope is skating on thin ice. 102 minutes of greatness. Folks, it's Ice Pawn, and it's Paul Cross. That was 5 VHS from the pile, and it only took me 4 tries to record.
Tell you what, dipshits, if you don't like my policies, you can just come on down here and smooch my big old white butt.
Lester, not yet. We're not there yet, but we are at a segment that you love because it involves someone you love. Not my father, your wife. Cheryl, of course. The viewers at home love her. You love her. I love her. This is her second appearance at the town hall meetings, and she has more of a leisurely, dressed down look, kind of an around the house attire. There's no makeup. She's au natural. And may I say this, Lester, very attractive. May I? I just did. Folks, it's Cheryl. It's her second appearance at the town hall meetings. Let's see what some of her concerns are this time.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? All right, there's an EpiPen in here. You can't possibly be as offended as I am, all right? Now, you people that my neighborhood get poisoned. I do not have bipolar. I have a pissed off woman. And trust me, I'm not in the mood.
Friends, I know you love a good peek behind the curtain here at the filming of Colin from Canada Presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, and I am going to allow you inside behind the curtain once more. This is the introduction to the thrift store pickups of the week. I have a piddly amount of items over there, and I am filming in the afternoon. After dinner this evening, I will be filming some more, as I have to film the whole episode in one day when I usually do it in several days. This is gripping information. Getting to my point. The thrift store pickup is miserable, so I will be going to a thrift store after dinner to possibly add to the pile to make the pile bigger. Now I'm gonna roll the bumper, and it's gonna be after dinner, and you're gonna see if I picked up anything at the thrift store. Hold on tight! John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John DeHurt. Friends, it is after dinner, and I have obtained a few more items to add to the piddly amount of thrift store pickups. They are to my left. Let us begin. We'll start with the games. Password. You guys remember the old game show. They came out with about 20 of these, I believe, because each one of them has 11th edition, 12th edition. This has no edition on it, so I believe it's the first one. That brings the value up to probably nothing, but I collect them and I don't have it. America's Funniest Home Videos game. This is the VHS Parker Brothers game. And if we unveil it here, as I did in the thrift store to make sure all the accessories are there, it's brand new. It's never been played. So, exciting stuff there. VHS only one. It's Wacko Wrestling Bloopers, and this is going over to my man Retro Ray over at Retro Rays. He does not have this particular selection, and he was very interested in it. We're going to talk more about Retro Ray in the goodbyes, so stay tuned for that. One book, and it's not a Garfield or a Heathcliff or a Charlie Brown, the book I wrote that saved my life, and I hope it can save yours too, by Robert M. Drake. It's just an anthology of poetry. I do write poetry myself, not just silly, I love collecting but I hate people poetry, but serious poetry that may or may not make an appearance on this program. I'm not too sure because this program is utter nonsense and that poetry is a little serious, so you never know. One video game, MLB The Show 19. I collect all in the series, although some of the servers will not work for the previous years. I do like to collect all in the series. One item for Jason over at the New 80s Revolution. It's the Police Academy, first 4 films. He's on a bit of a Police Academy kick, and I will be seeing him this Sunday. Yes, that's right, folks. The AmCan Connection will be together once more at the Niagara Falls Comic Con. If you see us, come over and say hello. We'll be sure to sign any body part you wish. The CDs, this is what really amped it up a bit after this evening's purchases. Hayden, we talked about him twice now. This is the 3rd time, the Canadian folky guy. This is In Field and Town. Volume 2 of 70s Rock. We talked about the compilations. They dragged me in. The best of Roberta Flack. She sang Killing Me Softly before the Fugees did, for those who want to play along at home. That's sealed, not that it makes a difference. Busta Rhymes, this is, I believe, Anarchy. Busta Rhymes. Basement Jacks. Kish Cash, more electronic stuff. Archie Shepp, this looked like something that he's a saxophonist, and it just looked like all kinds of good. I mean, look at that. So, you know, you take a chance. Leon Redbone, more of him. We talked about him. Whistling in the Wind. Again, he's not just the Mr. Belvedere theme song. He's that much more. America's Greatest Hits. Horse with No Name. Ventura Highway. You know. John Coltrane, Giant Steps. If you guys are into jazz, I don't have to tell you who this guy is. But for those who aren't, he's a saxophone player, and he was the best. Ice Cube. Ice Cube, Kill at Will, and then if you look inside, it also came with death certificate. So, 2 for the price of 1. Still need the cover for death certificate though. Ricky Lee Jones, bit of a 70s one-hit wonder. Chuck E's In Love. Yep, you know. Bam on the Roof. This is a reggae compilation from Jamaica. It just looked different and looked like something I would enjoy. And finally, Paul Simon Live in New York, DVD and CD. Okay? And my share is empty, which means the thrift store pickups are complete. I hope you enjoyed.
You just mind your P's and Q's, Buster, and remember who you're dealing with.
Friends, the unsung heroes in the world of news could be described as the sports reporters, because not only are they bringing you the hard-hitting news in the world of sports, they are on the field and they are in the action. But never are they regarded as perhaps part of the news team, when I think they are. So this week we're going to shine the light on one sports reporter who in his debut, I believe, gave one hell of a performance.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered,
but now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
Do the math.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys here on the field from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph. From here, you watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL. and here he is, having the time of his life.
Friends, if I could prevail upon you for a moment and entertain you with a small, perhaps long story about my father, John Riddell, legend. When the internet came out and let me know that there were such things as episode guides for all the TV shows I was collecting, I needed them. I needed them printed. That's a lot of sheets of paper, and the Riddell household is not printing out that many sheets of paper. So John and I went to his office during the weekend and used their facilities, computer and printers, to print out pages and pages of episode guides. Because it was the weekend, not many people were in the office. It was an underground parking garage, and upon exiting, my father wedged his car onto the island in between the in and out and garage door. He punched in his code to open the door, and he didn't get out in time, and the door closed because he was wedged on the island. He had to hit the intercom and let the guy know that he needed him to open up the door. And the gentleman opened up the incoming door. That made my father only more mad as I laughed hysterically like a hyena because this was the greatest thing that had ever happened. Needless to say, eventually the door opened. Perhaps you might have had to have been there for this story to be funny, but just picture a car wedged onto an island and my father's inability to get it off the island while doors were closing and opening. Folks, it's time for John Riddell, living legend.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
First try. Friends, those of you who are wrestling fans, this will make total sense. For those of you who are not wrestling fans, this will make no sense. But there's a point in a Hulk Hogan match where the punches have no effect. The holds have no effect. The kicks have no effect because the head is moving side to side. The sweaty hair is moving back and forth because Hulk Hogan is hulking up and he is making his comeback. Well, let me tell you something. Dynamite Tiger and Son, the camera roll is hulking up and it's making a comeback. It will not be beat. For those of you who aren't wrestling fans, let's go through my camera roll. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating, passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. You just keep me hanging on. That's right. The camera roll keeps you hanging on, as it does me. Together, we hang on. Guys, it's the camera roll. I know you're excited because I am as well. Photo number 1. The girlfriend and I were out and about, and she had some gift cards that were burning a hole in her pocket. So we headed on over to my favorite store, Bath & Body Works, to smell some candles and some other scents. And this is Mahogany Teakwood Intense. And if this doesn't smell like notebook paper, I don't know what does. Folks, it was just odd. Just odd. I took some more footage when they started playing Johnny Cash's original I Walk the Line, and it didn't quite go with all the other music from today's charts. It was just odd that we were in Bath & Body Works and Johnny Cash's Walk the Line was playing. Perhaps I can slip in a little bit of the video of that. Photo number 2 is from one of my loyal viewers, Retro Ray, over at Retro Rays. If you aren't subscribing yet, I don't know why you're not, so get on there and subscribe to it. He's got a fabulous collection of Star Wars, wrestling, 80s goodies, just really, really good stuff over there. And if you look carefully, if you look very closely, this man knows good content when he sees it. That, of course, is Colin from Canada. That's right. That's the retreat, as he calls it. It's filled with goodies, if I haven't already mentioned that. And if we look even closer, past the greatness that is on the screen, that man is keeping his TV protected. He's not taking off that plastic film, okay, folks? That is so hard to do. When you get something brand new and that plastic film is still on there, he's not taking it off. Ray, I salute you, sir. I would have taken that off in a heartbeat. Not bad, buddy. We're going to discuss more about Retro Ray over in the goodbyes at the end of the program, so stay tuned. Photo number 3, Mom and I were out and about, and she had to get blood taken. So in Canada, there's little walk-in clinics that you can go and give blood that as your doctor has requested. I'm sure it's the same in America, but healthcare systems are a little different between US and Canada. Anywho, also you can do your urine samples there, as you can tell by this gentleman who was standing there for a good 5 minutes holding his own urine in an orange jug, waiting for one of the ladies behind the counter to accept it. I'm not going to say the entire staff, we're all not so friendly, but there was one in particular who wasn't exactly bending over backwards to take this man's urine. Folks, if you're standing in a waiting room holding your own urine, you're trying to get rid of that as soon as possible. Don't make the man stand there with his urine, okay? For those of you creating t-shirts devoted to Colin from Canada's Good Junk, may I suggest don't make a man hold his own urine for 5 minutes. No problem. Okay, photo number 4, we're going back to the Westdale Mall Twitter account that I may or may not have created. Take pride knowing Nancy takes pride in all she sells at Nancy's Pride. Pride is what you get at Nancy's Pride. Hashtag pride. She didn't ask me to do that. I did that slogan all by myself. I'm not sure if the business tripled or doubled or even did anything because that account only has 17 followers. Photo number 5. Sometimes when the girlfriend and I are watching Netflix and we pause the festivities, the characters are caught in a predicament of facial expression, let's put it that way. We have several of these on the camera roll, but this is the debut of it. This is Steve Carell from The Office portraying Michael Scott, of course, and we thought it was funny. We hope you do as well. All these were funny in my opinion. These were 5 photos taken from my camera roll. Dynamite Tiger and Son. They survived. They survived, guys.
My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night.
Folks, if you recall, when we last left off with Ray, he was accusing one council member of sending him a letter barring him from town hall meetings. That council member disagreed with him vehemently. Let's see what Ray has to say this week. I believe he's concerned with police presence.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Now, I'm not fighting with you. I don't want, and then I have a question. What is this cop doing here?
He's here to maintain decorum and order.
Because my lawyer said, if you call the cops on me again, because when I was out here the last time...
Mr. Lyman, hold it.
No,
I am not doing this again.
No, I'm not fighting.
I don't want to fight. We did not send you a letter to keep you from the meetings.
You're cutting into my 5 minutes. Can I speak?
I'll give you your 5 minutes back.
Okay.
Friends, this is, of course, the introduction to the Deep Cut Deep Dive. Do you have Tubi? To be or not to be? To have Tubi or not to have Tubi? That is the question. Guys, you're going to need Tubi to get this Deep Cut Deep Dive coming up. Lester didn't know what clips to take from the Deep Cut Deep Dive, so instead Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Friends, I was gallivanting around Tubi looking for something to bring to the forefront of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Deep Cut Deep Dive, and I stumbled upon the 1989 classic starring your friend and hero, Weird Al Yankovic. Of course, I am speaking of the great UHF. Now, the main purpose of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk is to show you, the viewers, good junk. Whether it be the junk I get from the thrift store, whether it be the clips I show you, whether it be the movies, music, and TV shows I talk about, whether it be the VHS that I show you, it is all good junk, okay? Now, I don't know if Jiminy Cricket over in Omaha hasn't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So we'll probably cover Ferris Bueller's Day Off eventually, because I'm going to show you all the stuff that I think is good junk. Does that make sense? So some of the deep cuts might not be deep cuts, but they'll still be something that someone somewhere hasn't seen perhaps, and I need to cover it all. I need to cover all the bases. So some of these things you may have already seen, but let's just go over it again because, God damn it, UHF is gold, and I know a lot of people perhaps have already seen it. We're starting slow. I think UHF is kind of I want to say the middle ground, but you know, it's not The Breakfast Club. Everybody knows The Breakfast Club. Maybe not everybody knows UHF, but a lot of people have seen UHF. You dig where I'm going with this? 1989, Weird Al Yankovic, Victoria Jackson, Michael Richards, Kevin McCarthy, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, thank you very much. Trinidad Silva in his last role, for those that want pertinent information. Billy Barty, you guys know Billy Barty. Getty Watanabe, of course. Fran Drescher, Emo Phillips. And for someone who is clearly not an actor, Weird Al Yankovic does one hell of a good job in this movie. This is one of those movies that, at least for me, you have these movies that you watch yearly. Like, oh, I haven't watched UHF this year, or I haven't watched Stand By Me for the 217th time. You know, we gotta watch that. Or even Blow, for crying out loud. You have those movies that you watch like yearly. You have those movies that you watch yearly. For me, UHF is one of them. For those who haven't seen UHF, let me do a little synopsis. George, who was played by Weird Al Yankovic, is gifted a UHF television station by his Uncle Harvey. And he proceeds to try to turn around the station with his own unique blend of programming. That intertwined with Weird Al Yankovic's songs and parodies, music videos, brings together a phenomenal film. Did you hear me say Michael Richards? People have differing opinions on the man, but he shines in this film. You know, I can't say enough good things about UHF. Just a solid flick, solid flick. And if you own it, definitely watch it with the commentary track on, because it's Weird Al Yankovic, and Victoria Jackson stops by, Michael Richards stops by, and he really gives in-depth details about every aspect of the filming of UHF. So if you're a huge fan of UHF, definitely check out the commentary track on the DVD and the Blu-ray. It's the same on both. I could tell you more about the movie, but you don't want to spoil it for the few that haven't seen it. But the few who have know what greatness shines in the 1989 classic UHF. Folks, that was this week's Deep Cut Deep Dive. Perhaps not very deep, but people need to know about UHF.
Bueller.
He's sick.
Friends, I was in the car with my girlfriend one time, and I did my impression of Mr. Bean robbing a bank. She thought it was hilarious. We were over at a friend Christmas get-together with all of our friends, and she asked me to do the impression again. I did the impression, and it went over like a lead balloon. Later on in the car, she said, "Why weren't they laughing? It's really, really funny." I said, "I think it's funny too." She remembered that impression was from an actual episode of Mr. Bean when it wasn't. I made it up entirely just by hearing Mr. Bean say his name. And I took the cadence of how he talked and created, "Give me all your money." He never said that in an episode. Folks, it's time for the clip of the week.
When things aren't going my way, I'm thinking pasta. 2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
People, your time starts now. A group of pill pushers?
Friends, as a youth, I attended Queenston Drive Public School here in Mississauga between kindergarten and 8th grade. In our teen years, my friend and I drove into that school with his father's truck, but that's a story for another day. From kindergarten to grade 2, a classmate, and I believe his name was Robert, which plays a key role later on in the story, lived across the street from the school. And I remember thinking as a youth, he really looks like Gorilla Monsoon. And as you know, Gorilla Monsoon's real name was Robert. And I believe this kid was named Robert. I'm going to fish out a class photo and perhaps use it in this episode, probably a later on episode, but god damn it did he look like Gorilla Monsoon at age 6 or 7. Folks, it's time for a Gorilla Monsoon quote of the week.
Did you see that?
Couldn't see it from our vantage point.
Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
Miscarriage of justice.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Friends, every week there is a challenger, every week there is a reigning champion to take on that very challenger. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Just get to it. It's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Weekly Show and Tell poll. Lester, roll the bumper. Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. It's the Abdullah the Butcher figure and Blood Variant figure as the challengers with a commanding lead over Maxwell Smart and the Chief. They are the reigning champions. But as it is right now, Abdullah the Butcher has got the fork out and he is carving up Maxwell Smart and the Chief with a vote of 7-1. It's Wednesday as I film this. It is 4 p.m. on the button. This won't get posted till probably Friday. It could change, it never does. It looks like it's gonna be Abdullah the Butcher. Who challenges the madman from the Sudan, AKA Windsor, Ontario? We covered that last week. He's a legend, he's no longer with us. He's Steve Irwin, he's the crocodile hunter. It's the crocodile hunter, crikey I talk, squeeze my belly, I say 12 croc phrases. Let me move my several caffeinated beverages out of the way and let's hear if we can get him to talk. Try again, Colin. Mother of God, what is going on? This is gonna be great. What a ripper. Woohoo. Isn't she gorgeous? Have a look at this little beauty. Not really sure what he said there. I missed that too. You gotta love him. Nope. Something about a beauty again. I should have taken him out of the box. Holy smokes, that was close. I'm gonna stop there because half of them I couldn't hear, but you get the gist of it. This was released by the Animal Planet, and it is from the year 2000. I bought this in Buffalo on one of my, this is good. This is the only one that actually stays in the frame. I could just put him right there. And, okay. Got this guy at the Galleria Mall in Buffalo, if you want intricate details of where this guy's from. He's never been out of the packaging. I had to do a bit of a dust off. He had some dust on him, but I cleaned him up nicely. He is MIB. He's MIB, mint in box, as the toy collectors say, and he has his work cut out for him. I don't know if he has enough to do it, but he is taking on the madman from the Sudan if all goes according to plan, as it usually does. Steve, can you do it? What's that? Oh, we've already had a look at that little beauty. Friends, you know what to do. Vote now. It's Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk Show and Tell Weekly poll. If you want Steve Irwin to continue on a road to riches and glory, you need to vote. If you want Abdullah to continue his reign of terror with his fork, perhaps his pencil, vote now.
I was about to close the damn deal with the Vermont people.
Lester, we're not yet. We're close. We're very close, but we're not there yet. It's just the bloopers. And you guys don't know, but Lester knows how many takes it's taken me to do some of these segments. I am not on fire today. I'm not even in my groove. But as you guys know, push forward. That's what I've been doing, Lester. You know it. You've been watching. I've been painfully pushing forward. But the good thing about painfully pushing forward and having to do 8 million takes for each segment is there's probably a ton of bloopers. And Lester and I proudly present those bloopers right now. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. Friends, the buffoonery continues as we begin to start the epic masterpiece that will be Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada. A bit of a as last we left. I know you're excited. What is this? This is the end. This is the that of course being soft caress. He is higher than a kite because he's excited. This is the greatest show going. We have an order, okay? We have an order. You know those VHS chips? You know, ladies and gentlemen, I know it when you regale you. No. Every week there is every week there is a champion, and every week there is a challenger. You're supposed to say challenger first, Colin. A few more items to keep doing that. Much like the song, damn it, how do I put it? At the water cooler. Have you heard of Colin from Canada? I know you haven't. He only has 77 subscribers. But let me tell you about him. He's hilarious. A part of your famsleys? That is his lovely, what is he called? Lester. Thinking of a creative way, a hilarious way to present the bloopers to you. What could I do to be, I don't know, hilarious in any sort of way? Perhaps hand gestures. What is going on here? Is this sticking out? God, it is, eh? Lester, hello? Hello? Not just producer, you're also makeup, hair and makeup, okay? Hello? Hello? You've told your family members about me. They are now hooked. They are soaking in the dramatic comedy and eye candy. We've grown to love Colin's movements to the right. It's Bob and Doug McKenzie. No, it's not. Love to those who recognize supreme dramatic comedy when there is only really one person doing it. To bing bang walla walla bing bang ooh bing bang walla walla bing bang. Special ones, the hilarious one. Well, they're all hilarious. The volume probably a little too loud, but you love it. Tilt back the lazy chair, dramatic comedy and greatness. It's that talk at the dinner table. Did you see what Colin did? No. What's up, Rich? I'm drifting off into space here. Good shot of some good, the whole kit and caboodle.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That's right, buddy. It's finally time. Guys, are you ready? I think I am. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. Lester, it is time. Viewers, it is time. The promise was made last week, and a promise was kept. Friends, it is my honor and my privilege to present to you a sponsorship the likes of which Colin from Canada's Good Junk has never seen. Brought to you by my producer, Lester. I have not seen this. I am seeing this as you see it. the promise was made, a sponsor, in his words, the level of McDonald's or Coke. I will say no more. Lester, roll the sponsor.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
Chuck E. Cheese es el lugar de la diversión. Prueba nuestros deliciosos platillos que te encantarán. Y por cada pizza que compres, recibe un bono por 50, 75 o 100 pesos para que juegues. Celebra tu cumpleaños con nosotros y saborea nuestros nuggets, pizzas o hamburguesas. Te llevamos el sabor de Chuck E. Cheese a tu casa o a tu hotel sin costo extra. Todos nuestros clientes disfrutan de los brincolines gratis. Ven a Plaza Marina a disfrutar en grande.
No. I don't want to hear anything. Because I know exactly what you're going to say. So I'll say it for you. Do you notice anything wrong with that commercial? Oh, you do. What is it? I will tell you what it is. That is a Chuck E. Cheese restaurant in what looks like Los Angeles, California. That is not Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, you're gathering that too, are you? So that was the upper echelon sponsor that you contracted us to receive funds from? Because you thought it was Chuck E. Cheese. Is that right, Lester? You're goddamn right it is.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Friends, the proverbial back page of the book is being turned, and we are closing another chapter in the long history and, you know what I'm trying to say, of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. This, of course, being episode 17, coming to a close. Guys, that was me trying to say it's the goodbyes. I will always thank each and every one of you if you are hearing this with your ears and seeing this with your eyes, because you have gone the complete distance with one Colin from Canada. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We were mentioning earlier that we are getting to another mention of the young phenom Retro Ray over at Retro Rays. He is the winner of the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Write Me an Email and Win a Bunch of Junk contest. He is the winner, not only of the Ontario Lottery scratch ticket, the greeting card signed by me, one item from one of the episodes, but he is also going to receive a copy of Big Shots and, of course, the VHS from today's thrift store pickup, Wacko Wrestling Bloopers. I'd like to thank him for writing in. I'd like to thank him for watching. He's a big fan of the program, let's be honest, as he should be, because it's hilarious. But if you aren't subscribing, subscribe to Retro Ray. It's Retro Ray's. Jesus, this ear, man, is itchy. Okay, back to the task at hand. Like I was saying before my ear attacked me, subscribe to Retro Rays, okay? Because he's got a hell of a collection over there, and if you ask him nicely, he's going to go through it meticulously and show you it. Right, Ray? So, tip of the cap to Retro Ray, and a tip of the cap to everybody watching. There's always somebody commenting, and I do love the comments, because sometimes you wonder, is anybody watching? But I'm going to shut it. I don't know how great this episode's going to be. Sometimes I feel really positive about an episode. Sometimes I feel really negative about an episode. I don't know where I stand with this one. If you are watching this and you are in the Niagara Falls region of the Canadian side of the falls and you are going to Niagara Falls Comic Con, let me tell you right now that the AmCan Connection, what's that? Who's the AmCan Connection? I shall shun that person because everybody knows who the AmCan Connection is. It's of course Jason Knupp and myself. We will be parading ourselves around the floor of the Niagara Falls Comic Con sometime after 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. Folks, the pepperettes are a firm $12. There's no haggling.
Die Paperrates seien steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.